guy's like trying to put the moves on me and I'm not having it, I will assault them. I'm okay with saying that.
Yeah.
You know,
I will carry bear spray in my asshole if I need to. You know, like that's what's gonna happen. Imagine.
Hi, and welcome to another episode of the Knotty podcast. I am your host, Elle Harlow, and with me, as always, is sweet baby T, Tiana.
Hello. How do you say that you're not interested in a date when you know that they'll take offense?
I say no. No is a full sentence.
Yeah, that's fair.
You know, if I do have a reason, I will be like, no, because nah.
Yeah.
But I don't often feel the need to,
Yeah.
you know, to rationale. I don't need to explain my rationale.
Yeah.
If I'm saying no, I'm saying no.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's for me in like my whole life. If someone's like, hey, can I borrow money? No.
Oh, that's a huge one. No.
Yeah.
No, like unless like I like really love you, like sure, but that's like my friends, like not like my.
No, but in general, if like someone, especially like if it's like, oh, you want to go on a date? Do I know you? No.
Yeah. No. I think honestly, like the main point to take from that is just no is a full sentence. Like
I just say no, thank you.
That. Yeah.
I just say no, thank you.
Yeah. No thanks. Thanks, but no thanks.
And a lot of times they'll be like, oh, what? Why? And I'll be like, no is a full answer. That's all you need.
Yeah. And that's why too, like when they say like, you know, they'll take offense, I think vibe checking someone before you're in a position to feel uncomfortable saying no is massive.
Yeah. Huge.
Massive.
Huge. So like myself personally, I get asked out a lot. I get random dudes like in my DMs like, oh, I'd love to take you for dinner. No, thank you. And they're like, what? Why? And I'm like, why would I want to?
Yeah.
Oh, well, it's free dinner. I can buy my own dinner.
Yeah.
Like, you think that's the selling point? Yeah. Like, no, my God.
Like, how struggling do you think I am at this point? You know, like I don't, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like, I do understand, like, in this economy, like, a free meal should not be taken or dismissed lightly. But how free is it?
It's very true. There's a TikTok that I watched the other day. It was like a POV of someone like recording this girl eating. And she was like, me eating as much as possible when you talk about your ex just for the free meal. Like, I'm like, okay, that's kind of funny. But yeah, like honestly, if you're putting yourself into like an emotional or like social situation just for free food at that point, you know?
Yeah. No, because then it's not free. The emotional labor is still a cost.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
A high one.
And my emotional labor is pricey.
Yeah.
I will do physical labor for a lot less money. Like, you know, oh, Elle, can you help me move? Because like you're strong. I've seen you lift a couch by yourself. Absolutely. I can't pay you, but I'll buy you pizza. I'm in. It's like, hey, can I like tell you about this trauma?
No. It's like I will let you know about the nearest therapist.
Yeah, I won't even do that because I would have to Google.
Oh yeah, good point.
Like Cam H is on Queen Street. Hit her up.
Yeah, for you, it's easy, I guess. I'm just like go to Ontario Shores. It's like down the street. Yeah, you know.
Cam H they got a ER. They'll hook you right up.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You know, just talk to someone, not me, but someone
who cares.
Yeah. Kids help phone. He's a BetterHelp. I don't know.
There's apps for that.
There is apps for that. I tried BetterHelp. It did not better help me. That's for sure. It's.
I know my once husband was using BetterHelp and he thought it was great. He had
I'm really fucked up though. So like I've been in therapy since I was 4 years old, right? Like I'm used to therapists and I'm used to the way they're supposed to go. So when I sit in the BetterHelp and it's like this, I got a bunch of them, but I had like this teacher that would like come home from like their school and they're like, well, you should just be a girl boss about it. And I'm like sitting there like, you don't understand.
Girl boss.
Yeah, like I can't girl boss this out of me.
I can't girl boss the anxiety out of me. Sorry about it.
No, it's So that's why I'm like, okay, I wasn't a huge fan of BetterHelp, but God bless my mom. She's the one that signed me up for it because she felt bad for me.
Yeah, I definitely started therapy real young.
Yeah.
My mom put me in like group therapy.
Party. Yeah. Hate that.
Hated it.
Group therapy sucks.
Yeah, especially because like I was not popular, and one of the popular kids was in my group therapy.
Ew.
And 100% like told tales like all over school, and I was like, love that for
I
me.
hate that. Oh my God, you'd be catching hands in the parking lot after school if that was.
Oh, I mean,
yeah.
I don't want to say anything that might incriminate me now.
Yeah, fair. That's fair. We find it in the news one day. It's like, oh, that's what happened. Oh, okay. Yeah, group therapy sucks. Group therapy was like, I felt like it was a competition to say, well, I mean, I was also in borderline personality group therapy. So
it is
for us, it was a competition on who was more fucked up. And I was sitting there with my little autistic self. I'm like, get me out of here. I'm so uncomfortable.
Got a touch of the tism.
Oh, it's a smack.
It's a sprinkle and a.
It's a backhand of the tism. Let's be real.
It is no
It's
longer
a full
gentle.
curb stomp, mollywop, 18-wheeler run
Fuck
over.
is a mollywop.
A mollywop? You never heard of a mollywop?
Can't say as I have.
I'm teaching you so many things
So
this
many
episode.
things today.
I don't know, but it's essentially. It's essentially.
I'm a mollywop you into next week.
I think it's pretty much just like a hard ass hit. Like if someone
like a haymaker.
Yeah, pretty much. And you could be holding something. Like I was watching like The Nun 2, and this is like a spoiler, but like not really, but like kind of. Someone was holding like a frankincense thing, like you know when you have a church and it swings, and they like fucking start mollywopping someone with the frankincense, and that's what a mollywop to me would be.
Okay, all right.
I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that's that.
I'm into it.
What do you do when they won't take no for an answer?
I mean, it would depend on the situation. So, for instance, sometimes I will be on like a dating app, and for one reason or the other, I say like, you know, I'm not interested in continuing this relationship. Like, I don't want to. I'm good. Like,
yeah.
I'm all full up of the crazy.
Yeah,
you're
move
offering.
on. I'm good. Thank you.
And like, you know, I'll say it nicely because like manners are important, at least to me.
Yeah.
So yeah, like, you know, somebody will be like, oh, so can I get your phone number? And I'll be like, you know, I'd rather not.
Yeah.
And then usually they make it really easy on me because they'll come back with a like, well, you're ugly anyway. And I'll be like, oh, you matched on me.
Yeah. You were into this until like 5 seconds ago.
Yeah,
sir.
like 2 messages ago, you wanted my number.
Yeah.
And when I told you I didn't want a long distance relationship, suddenly I'm ugly. So you're going to learn to love my ugly face?
That was insane. But that's such a like, what do they call it? Like negging when they're like, they put you down so that you like are into it for some reason.
Like, sir, I am a reigning beauty queen. I am a paid model. Like I own several mirrors. I look in one for like 8 hours a day, not because I'm vain, but because I work in front of one. I know I'm very aware of what I look like. And I feel like maybe your feelings were hurt.
Yeah.
And if it's like a physical thing, like if a guy's like trying to put the moves on me and I'm not having it, I will assault them. I'm okay with saying that.
Yeah.
You know,
I will carry bear spray in my asshole if I need to. You know? Like, that's what's going to happen. Imagine. It's like, fuck.
Oh my God.
That's my answer. It's easy. Take notes, everyone.
You just broke my brain. I should not be laughing at this. Okay, yeah. As I've been in situations before where, you know, dudes are like, so blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, no, thank you. And they're like, what do you mean? And I was like, I said, no, thank you.
Did I stutter?
And then, like, you know, they tried to press the issue. And I was like, listen, this is going to end one of 2 ways. A, we say our goodbyes now and I walk away and you walk away and everyone is whole. Or B, it will really fucking hurt you. And it's like, yes, I'm a fat girl, but I'm a very strong fat girl.
People don't think... large vibes. People don't think that there's muscle underneath. Like, they're just like, oh, like they can... bitch.
No, like I can lift a couch by myself.
Test me.
Yeah.
I will rip your eyeballs out.
Like I've 100% like clocked a guy out.
Yeah.
Or kick him in the nuts, like whatever.
Mm-hmm.
If it's to the point where you are not listening to the words coming out of my mouth,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel like I am in danger, I am going to react as if I am in danger.
Mm-hmm.
So if you do not want to be hurt, do not make me feel like I am in danger.
That's a huge thing too, because I feel like a lot of like people that don't take no for an answer kind of don't think that there's consequences to that.
Yeah.
And like, what do you think is gonna happen?
What's that TikTok like? The consequence. Here come the consequences chasing me right now. Like, yeah, the consequences
you,
are
like,
going to be my knee shoving your testicles into your abdomen.
I like to go for the thumb and the eye.
I mean, I would definitely scoop an eye out or puncture it, and I really don't want to feel that.
They should have. It feels like a grape. Actually, fun fact. And they should have just listened to you saying no.
I don't want that. I feel like that would be more the trauma.
You done vomiting on them after doing that because of the feeling.
It's like, sorry,
Double
buddy.
whammy.
Like,
He's like,
literal insult to injury.
My eyes, my body. I'm all goopy.
Yeah, I don't need to add to the trauma of the situation.
No, I would add to it.
But like I've broken noses.
Yeah.
I've been in a bar where dudes wouldn't stop touching me, and I did the old what they used to call the Irish brass knuckles.
Yeah.
Like I had a beer stein, and I punched through it.
Oh, ow!
Yeah.
To you.
No, to me it was fine because
Did it not cut the fingies?
cut him though.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good.
Yeah.
I thought it'd just go like right into you. It'd be like
No.
a double ow.
Nope.
But no, okay.
I mean, like I've punched someone hard enough to like break a knuckle, so like.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, and that's like a thing a lot of people don't like know about me.
Yeah, your thingy is kind of dying.
I think it's
maybe aim it down a bit.
let's try that.
Hey, there you go.
Yeah, just stop for a second. But yeah, that's the thing a lot of people don't know about me is like
Yeah.
when I was in high school, I boxed, I wrestled.
Yeah.
I was training to be like a professional wrestler at one point.
There you go.
Like I can like squat my body weight, which is a lot of weight.
Yeah.
So like I will literally just pick you up and slam you down.
Oh,
Like,
that's entertaining. I would love to see that.
like I don't even need to. I don't have to like punch you to hurt you. I can do so many other things.
We think outside the box at this point.
like I don't, and like people say, oh, get those keychains that have the like stabby bit on you.
No,
Except
you
you're
will
not allowed.
never remember that.
They're made of plastic.
Yeah.
Like it's resin.
And
it's going to break.
The metal, yeah, they hurt you more than anything. And the metal ones are actually not
Illegal.
allowed
Yeah.
in Canada. They're allowed down in the U.S. Like my cousin who's like 13,
I mean, everything's allowed in the
Well, I
U.S.
mean, but yeah, like that's one that the metal ones are definitely one. I think for me, like, because I forget that I can be physical, even though like I definitely can be. I'm just really loud. So like if something were to happen, like there was one time where I used to work at a dispensary, and there's like an age gate usually, which is like someone
Right.
sits at the front, cards you,
Yeah.
you could get in.
I've been to a dispensary.
I don't know why I needed to explain that, but you
I
know.
mean, people who aren't from here may not know what a dispensary is.
Very
so.
true. There we go. That's what
Think
an
of
age
it
gate
like
is.
think of it like when you watch a movie and there's like a weird, sketchy American liquor store.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's actually a pretty good description, except for more Canadian accents.
Yeah, and they also all look like Apple stores.
Mine wasn't. Mine was great. It had like black walls.
Oh,
and,
everything
like,
I've
stuff.
gone into, it's like they
Well,
all,
'cause,
and they
like,
come up with the
Toronto-
iPad.
Well, that's very Toronto.
Can I get you some bubblegum tweaker? Like,
Do you have some green crack? It's like, oh, I didn't think you could sell that here. But I was up at Age Gate, and I was age gating people, and then there's these two guys that came in. And I'm like, oh, see your ID. Thank you for the ID. And then they're like, oh, I love your tattoos. And then they this is when I only had like half of these here. And they grabbed both of them each, one hand on arm. And I was like, no. And they weren't listening to me. So I just fucking like scream because like, again, the tism. But and then everyone else in the store was like, what the fuck? And then they ran up and then they were like, ah, because I think if you make them uncomfortable, then they don't know what to do.
yeah, I've definitely had the like random, like inappropriate questions in public.
Oh,
Like, like when
sorry.
it's usually like okay, no, that's not true. I've once had like a random inappropriate question from a woman in public, and it was because she thought I was wearing a wig. And she was like, oh, where'd you get your wig? And I was like, what wig? And she's like, this one. And she like, and I was like, oh, that's my hair. And she was like, oh, the color is impeccable. And I was like,
But what was she going to try to do? Rip your wig off?
yeah, I think so.
I hate that.
I was like, don't love that.
Oh,
but
I hate that.
I think there's also like I have the and this is like, my friends have told me this, even my family has told me this. They're like, when you're walking down the street, you give really positive vibes. And the minute someone like disrupts your peace, it goes from like sunshine, lollipops, and rainbows to like lightning crashing,
Custer from
rain.
Slipknot.
Yeah. And I'm just like, so like I was on the Go Bus to visit my best friend. And this guy's like, hey, do you know when we're going to get to the station? And I was like, yeah, according to the Go Bus schedule, we're supposed to be there at this time. And then I looked at my phone, which was 10 minutes ago. So I have no idea. And he's like, oh, okay. And he's like, can I ask you another question? And like immediately, like my spidey sense was like, bing, bing, bing. And I was like, well, you just did. Would you like a third? And he's like,
yeah, jarred.
yeah. And he was like, oh. And he's like, well, how many tattoos do you have?
I hate that.
And I was
Sorry.
like, okay, so like aside, I don't know.
Yeah.
I have ones that are so old that I've forgotten they exist. And
Yeah.
they're like on my back so I don't see them. But I looked at him and was like, well, how big's your dick? And he goes like this. And I was like, I just thought we were asking like inappropriate questions about strangers' bodies. And he's like, oh, was my question inappropriate? I'm like, yeah.
Yeah. And annoying.
And annoying.
I feel like any person with tattoos, like at least a good amount of them, or even just one, can relate to that. It's like, well, how many do you have? Why do you need to know the number?
Yeah. I just always like ask them another. Like I was like, so when did your parents get divorced? And they're like, what? And I'm like, I just thought we were asking like off the cuff, inappropriate questions. And my mom has seen it happen. Like she's brought me places to like meet her coworkers, and like there's always one dude who's like gets a little tipsy at the office function and is like, so, and I just shoot it right back. And my mom's like,
Yeah, because her generation's not used to that shit.
no, and she's just like, oh, I just heard my daughter say something inappropriate. We better go.
It's our cue to skidoo.
Yeah, we gotta go. But yeah, no, I oftentimes I fight fire with fire, or I fight fire with the absolute cuntedness that is my real personality.
Love that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I have to be nice because otherwise I am not. Left to my own devices, I am terrible.
That's fair. And it's like you can't people please when someone is already like past that boundary that you've set. So like at this point, all bets are off.
Yeah, yeah. Like
all bets are off.
unless you've given me a reason to like you, I'm not going to be nice to you.
Yeah,
I will be mannerly. Because I feel like my grandmother would somehow know if I wasn't, and she would she's 5'2" and she would kick my ass.
Oh my God.
Because it's like it's what you do.
Yeah.
But like the minute you get one shot at mannerly, and if you continue to press, well, I will be your 13th reason.
That's it. Oh, not the 13th reason. I haven't heard that in forever.
Listen, I'm old. It's the only.
I never watched that show.
I didn't either. I just knew that it was a saying.
Oh my God. You're like, as the kids say.
As the youths say. What are your safety tips for a first date?
Don't go.
Don't go.
Just don't.
I mean,
stay
just
home.
Get yourself, go to pinkcherry.ca. They're not sponsoring us, but they should. And buy yourself a little something.
Off topic. Kind of on topic. I went to Stag Shop the other day because I want one of those little sucker things.
Oh,
you know,
girl, you'll never leave your house.
$200.
Go on Pink Cherry. They have. I have the Satisfier Pro, and I think it was like $70.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna go because literally the one that I had, that I found, I took a picture of it because I'm still thinking about it to this day. It's like they're like, look, it will suck to your finger, and you'll hold it up, and it won't fall off. And I'm like,
I mean, I don't think you necessarily need that much suction. I feel.
I know that's a lot. Like I don't even know what to do with it.
Yeah. Topic for another time. But yeah, just go on Pink Cherry. I don't have a discount code. They don't sponsor us in any way.
Yeah.
They absolutely should. But I'll send you the link for the one I have.
Ah, wonderful.
That I highly recommend.
But yeah, beyond that, I think that safety tips, I always share my location. I will be like, literally my friend is sharing her location with me right now because she's on a date in a public space even. Yeah. But like even that, so I'm like kind of peeking sometimes.
Yep.
So that's a huge one. And also like I will, like I said before, like I will vibe check someone so intensely. If you give me the slightest off feeling, that's it. That's the end of it. You know, There's no way. Yeah.
The vibes never lie.
Yeah.
And I don't know if this is a me thing, if this is a women thing, but like I can tell if someone's like a shitheel within minutes.
Yeah.
Usually within a minute of meeting them.
Yeah.
I know
too.
whether or not they're going to see me without my clothes on.
Yeah.
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 And it's just like the minute I see them, it's like if it's bad, I literally will get a bad taste in my mouth.
Yeah, literally. There you go. You leave a bad taste in my mouth.
Yeah.
But I think too, I think we were talking about this on another podcast. We both have like been through like a lot in regards to like people that we've, trusted. So I think that you have already like, the signs. You don't want to like go through that chaos again. Right. So like, what to look for.
Yeah.
And like, you just become such a good, like
snap judgment of character.
100%.
Yeah.
Almost to a fault. Like I will meet someone, like even like, even if it's not relationship wise, even if it's like whatever, just like friend, acquaintance, friend of a friend, stuff like that. And like, if you don't pass my vibe check, I'm so sorry. But
yeah,
that's it.
So my best friend has a lot of friends that she's had for a very long time.
Yeah.
I don't know this vibe because so first of all, I grew up in a military family, so I've lived all over and we moved like every couple of years.
Yeah.
So if I wasn't living with my mom, I was living with my military aunt and uncle. So I have 0 friends from high school that I like keep in touch with because I don't care to. I have 1 friend from college that I keep in touch with, 0 or from university, 0 friends from like hair school. I think about all of the places that I've lived. So I lived in Nova Scotia and a couple of places. I keep in touch with none of them. I did keep in touch with 2 of the ladies I worked with at one place, and they've both passed away now. So like,
that's unfortunate.
they were like way older than me. So like,
okay.
It's a thing that's gonna happen.
I guess.
I lived in Barrie for a while. I've kept in. I know, it's a long story. I kept in touch with no one there. Even since I've lived in Toronto, I've been here 15 years. I have 1 friend that I made when I first moved here.
Right.
I have 1 friend, that from when I lived in Barrie. And then and then I have like my best friend who I met 3 years ago.
That's fair.
And there is no in between. Like, sure, there'll be people that I see and I'm like, hey, how's it going? Whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I don't have that like litany of friends that my friend has.
Yeah.
So she'll invite me to like a party and she'll be like, and listen, you little asshole, be nice. And I'm like, I make no promises. Like, I'm drinking whiskey tonight.
Not the whiskey.
And she'll be like, listen, she's like, these are my friends. You have to be nice. And I'm like, I don't want to.
Yeah. I'm like, I don't want to though.
And she's like, listen, this is my friend's girlfriend. Nobody likes her, but you have to be nice. And I'm like, is that the bitch that looks like Stevie Nicks? Because I'm not into it.
Oh my God, no. I also hate that too. It's like, nobody likes her, but you have to be nice.
You have to behave yourself because we don't want to like stir the pot.
That's one thing though. You can't tell when I don't like someone unless like you're one of my friends and you're listening to me talk about that. But like to your face, like I like mask crazy. It's insane. Like you have no idea. And then yeah, like it's hard to tell for me because I'm like, oh, everything's fine, everything's cool, and on the inside I'm like,
I don't have the energy for that. No. So like it'll be funny because in this one instance it was the friend's girlfriend. So I'm like having a conversation in a circle and she like comes up and I'm just like,
I would kill myself.
And I like turn back to my friends and I'm like, blah, 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 blah.
You would never see me again. You'd hear me on the news.
I'm like, listen,
that's it.
You were rude to my friend. I wasn't even there for it. And I have a grudge.
Oh my God. If you gave me that look and then turned around, I think I would die on the spot.
Yeah.
Right,
and it wasn't even
I would
just like
shrivel up like Medusa turn into a stone.
I like look at her like top, bottom, top, bottom, top, bottom. So what was I saying? And
I'd have to go back to therapy.
Yeah. And like she like did not like me either. And that's fine. But she was like trying to
why?
Well, no, she didn't like me on sight.
Oh.
Yeah. Like I showed up and like
it was on site for y'all.
I'm pretty, I have big titties, like I dress nice. And she was wearing like Uggs and leggings and like a Stevie Nicks like shawl into a garage party. And had like the messiest, grossest hair. And I like turned up like done.
Yeah.
And she was like, oh. And then she was trying to be like fake nice to me. And I was like,
like, don't do that.
Not into it.
Some people are really bad at fake nice.
Yeah, she is awful at it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I wish I remembered her name and I'd give her a shout out, but I don't.
Oh, God. Not you starting beef on our fucking podcast.
Listen, I've started beef with Drake. I've started beef
With Drake.
the Kardashians.
We're not. Have you seen, probably not, but maybe the like memes that is coming up from like his like song that was posted with insert rapper name here, I forget, because like he was like, the guy was like rapping and he was like, duh, 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 duh. And then Drake was like, money for fun. Like he was like so excited. So people are making like videos of like him being like so like excited doing it. And it's just so funny.
I feel like Drake peaked at Hotline Bling.
Oh,
when he was like doing his like dad dancing.
his little
I feel like he's not really hit it since.
I like Drake just for the memes that come from him. Like he'll be like,
he's very memeable.
Oh, 100%. I feel like he giggles, you know, like he doesn't laugh. He giggles. That's my interpretation of it. And I love it. I'll eat it up.
I would rather barf it up. I don't like him at all. What's a big safety, a red flag on or before a first date?
That's a good question. I mean, there's so many.
I mean, there are so many. Like we could literally turn this room into like a carnival right now. For myself personally, it's not wanting to meet in public first.
Oh yeah, I mean
like,
that's a huge one.
Yeah, because it's like, oh, why don't you just come over? I mean, why don't you buy me a drink, or we can each buy ourselves a drink?
Yeah,
so I can see that you're a real human.
Yeah,
and like.
Yeah. And you won't kill me because there's like 20 other people here.
Yeah.
I like that. I think for me, it's like not planning the date, you know, and then having the super late startup time when it comes, unless you're going to a bar, unless you're going to a concert, unless you're going to something that is usually a late thing. But like if you're just like, because a lot of it is like just being picked up and then like going to get ice cream or whatever. Like if you have to do that at 10 p.m.
I mean, what ice cream place is open at 10 p.m.?
Like, well, Dairy Queen, but like, yeah. But
I mean, the Dippery, which I live near, is open till like 11.
The what?
The Dippery.
The Dippery?
Oh my God, have you not had the Dippery?
I'm not from Toronto. We have Enniskillen General Store. It has Kawartha ice cream. Have you had Kawartha ice cream?
Of course.
Oh, okay. I was going to say.
Do I look new? Well, I'm going to figure out how to get you ice cream here one of these weeks.
Should order it. Or go. I don't know. Podcast goes to the ice cream shop. I'm just trying to get us to do a whole fuck ton of stuff.
I mean, we're gonna go to Pilates.
Ooh, I'm excited.
But I mean, like, okay, so ice cream places can be open late.
Yeah, it can. But yeah, for me, like, it doesn't even matter where we're going. Like, if it's like an unplanned date, you're like, well, I'll just come pick you up. And it's like, oh, okay, when? Oh, like 10:30. It's like, oh.
I'm old. I will have my eyelashes off and I will be in bed watching Law and Order because I am old and that's what I watch.
Yeah, I like that.
But yeah, I'm in bed by 10:30 because I have a job and a life and it's busy.
I want to hang out with someone when the sun's out. Like, why do we have to do everything when the sun's down? Are we vampires?
I mean, I am.
Like, I love the nighttime. Don't get me wrong, but that's when I know that you're not going to like stuff me in a backpack and bury me in the forest. Yeah.
God damn. Yeah, I mean, if you cannot sacrifice an hour of your busy schedule to meet me somewhere for a coffee or a drink, or a snack, I'm not going to trust you with my life. Yeah. Full stop.
Yeah.
This is about, like, regardless of I'm coming into a friends with benefits, a situationship, or like to start dating someone, I need to know that you are willing to abide by my boundaries and respect them. If you aren't, then it's a no for me.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah. A huge no for me. Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Like, I'm not going to your house without meeting you.
Or I've had people who's like, well, we could just hang out at your house.
No.
You can't meet my cat yet. What
First
do you think this is?
First of all, that would mean I would have to like put shit away.
Yeah.
Like not daily shit, but like.
Oh, I leave them out. I have one stuck to my, I I love that you're already laughing. I have one stuck in my shower. It's a loofah holder, actually. And it's in all of my selfies in the bathroom.
Please.
I'll show you it right now.
I mean, I don't need to see it right this second, but once we're done,
Yeah.
please, can you send that?
And then I have my other one that is just on my side table. I will not move it. It's there. If you're going to know me, you're going to know my objects.
The objects of your affection.
Yeah, the objects of my true affection.
I mean, I just don't. That is not something I would like someone to meet on a, first.
Fair. I also am just insane. I want a collection of those tentacle ones on display at all times.
Ricky has all of them.
Yeah. Oh, jealous.
Do you follow? You need to follow my Ricky on
I will.
all the things. I'll send you.
Yeah. Send me. I even I'm insane. I also want to do like the clone pussy and hang it on my wall. Like I'm nuts. I love that shit. Dicks and vaginas and boobs everywhere.
I mean, I'm not opposed, but I've definitely, because what I find is that the minute any sort of sexuality is broached in a conversation with the men that I have had dealings with, the minute any innuendo happens, that's it. It game over. There is no other conversation that can be had because that's all they can fucking think about.
Well, yeah, the very one-track mind when it comes to that.
It's you can't, I can be like, innuendo, and then be like, so, Dodgers, White Sox, who are we cheering for? You know what I mean?
But they're still
yeah. So, I definitely had, a mandate once, and I...
Love the mandate.
I was, doing the grand tour, because it was COVID times or some shit. I don't know why I was having them over. Anyway,
you were losing it and just had someone.
Yeah, that's not my vibe.
Okay.
So I was like, let me give you the grand tour. So I was like, kitchen.
Yeah.
Here's the bathroom.
Yeah.
This is my room. And I just sort of flung the door open, and my Hitachi was on the floor.
On the floor.
Because I'd been tidying, and it had slipped out of the bin.
Gotcha.
And I hadn't noticed, and walked out of the room, and he was like, "Oh, what's that?" And I was like, "It's a vibrator."
You'd have
you know what it is.
You know what it is. You
and he was like, "Oh, you use that?" I'm like, "No, actually, it's just on the floor for decoration."
Specifically on the floor for decoration as well.
It's actually a rug.
Yeah.
It's this new rug from France. I guess you don't get it. But
it's very avant-garde.
Yeah, it's very avant-garde.
It's very avant-garde. It's art.
It's art. And then literally we were having drinks, and for the rest of the night it'd be so you having a time, and I'm like,
I would lose it
after an hour. I was like, I think it's time for you to leave.
Yeah.
And he was like, what? Why? I thought we were vibing. I'm like, all you've done is talk about my Hitachi and made me listen to your shitty beats. Get out.
No, not the beats.
Not the beats.
Well, every Toronto man's has some beats of some. Every Toronto man's has a SoundCloud account.
If they have a SoundCloud account, I'm out. That's where is it? If you've not gone, production value into Spotify yet, that's a red flag for me.
At least. Or music videos on YouTube, I can at least handle a little bit more. But just SoundCloud, it's all the same flat shit.
I have, I remember this.
Oh God.
I went on a date with this guy. And I showed up, and I will admit I was late.
Okay.
I was taking an Uber. Traffic was stupid. And it got to the point where I was like, listen, I am so close, but I can't get out of this car because I'm on the Gardner. I was like, I apologize. So get the bill for whatever you've drank so far. I will pay it. And then we can start again when I arrive.
Yeah.
So he had gotten tipped. He was a little toasted by the time I got there. Which is fine. I was an hour late because of traffic.
Oh, okay.
It was to the point where the ladies at the next table were giving him the look. So anyway, I show up, and I said, he's pretty toasted, but I was like, whatever. I'll stay. We were planning on having dinner. I had my meal.
Yeah.
I quickly caught up, and it was great. And he was a nice guy. I wasn't really feeling the romantical vibe.
Right.
But I was like, I feel like we could at least be really good friends. So finish it up, we leave. And we're still texting as I'm now in my Uber home. And he's like, oh, I forgot to tell you. And I was like, oh. And I was like, wife, girlfriend?
Yeah, it's always
children?
the worst
Like,
thing
what?
that men say.
Yeah, I was like, what have we
What did
forgotten
you
to tell me? And
forget?
he's
What
like,
did you do?
he's like, I'm a rapper. And I'm like,
Oh,
what? I was like, you are you?
blocked.
And I was like, can you send me, like, I was like, do you have like a Spotify? And he's like, no. And he sends me a YouTube link and it's him in like a parking lot.
In a parking lot?
And like, I
Stop
want to
it.
say it was like not in Toronto. Like,
Oh, okay.
because you can kind of see the skyline,
Yeah.
like the Toronto skyline in the background, but it's like far.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say it was in Mississauga.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like,
Not the Mississauga rappers.
and he's doing like a diss track. And I was like, bitch, I can rap better than that.
Oh, no.
After he sent me that, I was just like, you know,
Yeah.
I had a really nice time, but I just don't think it's there.
Yeah, I don't think your disses weren't that good.
Yeah.
I hate that.
It
I
was
don't know.
so bad.
Yeah.
It was like mumble rap before mumble rap was a thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
I cannot fucking stand mumble rap. Like, I get it. Like, whatever. Like, if you like music, you like music. But that's not music to me, personally.
Oh, that's your first sign of getting old. You don't like what the kids like.
I never liked mumble rap.
I mean, I don't like most of popular music now. Once you hit a certain age, like you just stop liking new things.
Oh, my God.
It's true.
I mean, probably, yeah.
I can like music, food,
Yeah.
fashion.
Yeah.
And when fashion comes back around, all you do is complain that you've already seen it. Like,
You're just like, dislike this, dislike that,
Yeah.
complain about this. I'm excited to get old. I already do half of those things.
I had to go for a massage today because I slept on a bed that isn't mine for 4 nights. And then I like had to sit around at an airport
Oh, my God.
and threw my back out.
Oh, my God. Stop it. Stop it right now.
I wish I was joking.
That's hilarious.
I swear to God, I don't count my steps. I'm not one of those psychopaths. But if I were to hazard a guess, I probably walked like 20,000 steps Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday.
Wow.
And like Wednesday, I only had half the day because I had to be at the goddamn airport at like 2 p.m.
Yeah.
And I was out like dragging my suitcase,
Yeah.
walking and
Yeah,
like
yeah,
seeing
yeah,
shit
yeah.
because I'm like, I leave this city in 3 hours. I got to see what I can see.
Yeah.
And yeah, it fucked me up.
That's hilarious. You're like in your massage, they're like, wow, you've got a lot of knots. You're like, yeah, I slept on a bed that wasn't mine.
I didn't have my pillow.
And I didn't have my pillow. And I walked a lot.
And I walked a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got you.
And that's it for the Knotty Podcast. I am your host, as always, Elle Harlow. With me is...
Tiana Sage.
You can follow Elle Harlow on Instagram and TikTok at Elle Harlow.
And you can find me Instagram and TikTok at Tiana Sage.
And today we talked about all of the big red flags and safety tips around dating. Remember, October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Listen, believe, and stay safe. Don't forget to follow the Knotty Podcast on all social media platforms at Knotty Podcast.